Please note that the following information is strictly prohibited to any and all workers of ranking 30 or below. Attempting to view said information without required ranking may lead to ejection from the Nightfall Lunar Hub. Do you wish to see this file? You have selected yes. File 17-A. The log enclosed within this document is derived from the audio recordings of Escape Pod 4 of the SS Angelica approximately 2 days into its deep space voyage, and an estimated 6 minutes before its destruction. The purpose of the Angelica's deployment was to search for reported radio frequencies in an uncharted region of the Carnation District, and report any findings back to Base Camp Alpha, the nearest lunar base, before recording said findings for further analysis. Such alleged radio signals had the potential to be physically and/or mentally damaging to the human body, and thus, the Angelica was protected with layers of padding along its upper, middle, and lower sectors. At its time of deployment, the ship held 6 crew members, 5 of which are confirmed to be terminated, and 1 whose status is unknown. Log start.
This is Captain McKennedy of the SS Angelica speaking. Any nearby receivers, please respond. I repeat, this is Captain McKennedy of the SS Angelica speaking. Any nearby receivers, please respond. God, they're trying to get in! No, fuck! The fucking fuel tank! To any active researchers, a hostile alien parasite has assimilated all 5 of my crewmates aboard the SS Angelica and is currently attempting to gain access into my escape pod. The beings have taken control of the ship, despite my best efforts. My fuel reserves have been pierced from the outside and are leaking rapidly. I myself have already managed to eliminate one of the life forms, but the other 4 still remain. These aliens, they're attempting to persuade me to leave the pod. They're floating outside the windows in spacesuits. Crew members Chuck and Edward, they're dead, but the aliens are mimicking their voices. They want me to believe in them. I'm calling in a lunar strike on the SS Angelica's position, effective immediately, in order to prevent the assimilation process from spreading any further. As for myself, I may just have enough fuel left to steer myself clear of the blast radius, but without the navigational systems, I have no means of returning to any nearby lunar base. I will beam my coordinates out onto this broadcast as soon as I am far enough away from the Angelica so I can be rescued. Captain McKennedy, signing off.
Log N. The message was relayed to Base Camp Alpha receivers less than a minute after its initial broadcast, thanks to a lone scouting ship that picked up McKennedy's signal as it was patrolling the area close to the SS Angelica soon after the message was received and relayed to the Nightfall Lunar Hub. A lunar strike was fired at the SS Angelica according to Captain McKennedy's wishes as a precautionary measure against a potential hostile extraterrestrial invasion. The strike was 100% effective, as the Angelica was destroyed upon impact, and 5 of its 6 potentially infected crew were killed. It is suspected that Captain McKennedy survived the blast, as Escape Pod 4 has been reported to be seen now orbiting a nearby uninhabited dwarf planet. No effort is currently being made to rescue McKennedy or trace his coordinates signal, and the termination of the SS Angelica has been publicly credited as a technical malfunction to the generator room, leading to a chain reaction that destroyed the entire ship. Warning. The subsequent part of this article is extremely classified to almost all workers, commanders, and operators aboard the Nightfall Lunar Hub. If you do not possess either of these ranks, President, Vice President, you are legally required to stop viewing this article here. Attempting to view Article File 17-B without correct authentication will lead to guaranteed termination and/or permanent exile from the Nightfall Lunar Hub. You have been warned. Proceed at your own risk. You have selected yes. Several months after the events of File 17-A, a discovery that was made during a small-scale salvage mission directed at the ruins of the SS Angelica, one of the crew members of the SS Intrepid, the ship dispatched to carry out the mission, discovered a relatively undamaged audio log floating alongside a disheveled corpse, likely belonging to one of the 5 dead crewmates of the Angelica. After multiple low-ranking Intrepid officers listened to the recording before it could be intercepted by Nightfall commanders, it was swiftly confiscated. A severe reprimand was given to the offending officers, and the ruins of the SS Angelica were subsequently abandoned to prevent any possible data breach. The audio's log transcript is detailed in the following document. Log start.
Hello? Is anyone there? Reading you loud and clear. Ed, Gus, and Frank. Interview copy. Positive, Chuck. Can confirm, Chuck. Edward and I require a status report. What the hell's going on up there? We're passing through a air-rant signal an hour back. We were going to record it as per protocol, but it was too strong, overwhelmed our monitors, crashed the system. We had to restart the whole damn thing all over again, which is why the comms were down. McKennedy was fixing something down in the engineering room when it happened. We went to go check up on him. We found him seized up, unconscious, spitting froth all over the floor. Come again, Frank? Are you implying the signal affecting McKennedy in some way? How is that possible? Well, that's the thing. There's no protected padding down in engineering. It's a completely exposed area. All the readings confirmed it. Fucking hell. But that's... Are you absolutely sure? 100% positive. It's present everywhere else on the ship, even in the suits. Probably just a manufacturing error that the engineering got skipped. Or Nightfall skimping out on us. That pattern's the most expensive material on this ship. Wouldn't be too out of character for them, cutting corners to save $1 or $2. It's not important right now. We need to tell you guys something. Well, what about Daniel? Is he safe? I was just getting into that. When we found McKennedy, we brought him to Daniel, who was, as per usual, in the med bay. It didn't take long for him to come to. But when he did, he started yelling about aliens and parasites and got all sorts of crazy shit. We couldn't calm him down. He was just rabid, completely out of control. He took a lunge at Frank, and when Daniel tried to sedate him, he sliced his neck open. Lost too much blood. We couldn't do anything. Dear God. Daniel's dead? He bled out, Chuck. He's gone. And neither of you stopped him? We tried. All 3 of us together could barely hold him down. He was like a wild animal. I've never seen anything like it. Where's McKennedy now? Did he get away? He's jettisoned one of the escape pods, but he's yet to accelerate from away from the ship. On his way out, he smashed up almost all the comms, so we have no hope of sending a distress signal. We can't even contact his pod. Establishing a local link with you two is as far as we can get. So what do we do? You and Chuck are at the lower right wing of the ship, correct? Yes. We've been maintaining the suits for the last hour or so. Good. Grab a couple and navigate to McKennedy's escape pod out of the east airlock. Find a way to empty the pod's fuel reserves and dock it back into the ship manually. Meanwhile, we're going to go and fix the comms. When you get McKennedy back into the airlock, we can seal him in from there. Then we can start heading back to base camp. And remember, the effects of the signal should only last a few hours. I imagine the captain will have returned to his usual disposition by the time we arrive. Understood, Frank. Is it a requirement for me and Chuck to depart together? If I stayed on board, I could help with. That's a negative. Edward, docking the pod is a 2-man job. Get back to us when it's done. Captain, can you hear us? Stop that, damn it! You're just gonna freak him out even more! Tighten his wrench. Remove the casing from the pod's fuel tank. Fuck. That's really setting him off. Right. Now we just opened the pod. But that'll kill. I couldn't get less of a shit if it kills him. Those two aren't gonna order me around anymore. Daniel is dead. McKennedy is a murderer, and they can't stop him. The blood is on their hands, all three of them. Chuck, I know he was your brother, but you know that's not. Shut the fuck up, Edward. You were always a spineless little shit. I'm taking this into my own hands. We'll say the pod leaked. McKennedy got sucked out, and we couldn't do anything about it. You dare tell anyone else what happened here, I'll have your head on a fucking stick, okay? You stay right there, and don't even think about trying to stop me. That bastard must have put it in a lockdown. Son of a bitch! I can't be too far with that little fuel. Maybe if we... What is that? Another ship? That's a lunar strike. Nah, you're fucking with me. Both of you get into the escape pod as soon as possible. Can't you move the ship out of the way? There's no time! Gus, we're not gonna make it. The elevator's too slow. Don't fucking say that! We're gonna...
Log N. Additional note. The information included in both File 17-A and File 17-B is highly sensitive. Extermination through the mass deletion of all documents contained within the libraries of the Nightfall Lunar Hub. In the event that such files were to come into the hands of a foreign enemy or unauthorized group with intent to release the said files to the public. Thank you, and God bless America.